Okay.
Okay, happy shake here. We're drinking it now. We buy one and we're gonna take one home with us in case it's too strong. Okay.
Oh, look.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. As you've just seen, on Saturday I actually did magic mushrooms in KOH, and I just wanted to talk about my experience today. Not trying to sound like some little fag who, I had some really spiritual experience. It was pretty cool, to be honest. For those of you that are wondering, the mushroom shake itself is 700 baht, which is roughly like 16 to 17 pounds or something like this, which actually at the time I thought was expensive because I didn't realize, I thought that one happy shake wouldn't do shit, and I was really mistaken about that. I actually wound up buying two, one for me and one for the girl that I was with, Pat Lita, who I really like a lot. She's a real sweetheart. But yeah, so I bought two for a total of 1,400 baht, which is like 35 pounds, something like this. Now, I bought that because for some reason I had it in my head that the drugs in Thailand would be kind of cheap and shit. Like, even though I've done edibles here before and they've been really strong, I must have been a bit arrogant or some shit, because I bought two when I really didn't need to. And to be honest, when the actual mushroom shakes themselves were brought out and I actually started sipping on them, all of a sudden I had a little bit of anxiety about the whole thing. Like, if we each drink one each, we're gonna be fucking tripping our nuts off.
Oh, look.
Doesn't taste that bad at all. It just tastes like a smoothie. It really tastes like a smoothie. Okay.
Me too?
Yeah. Boo boo. Just drink it, it's okay. Boo boo. Why
Yeah.
you? What? Boo boo.
This texture is...
Drink it, Chamai.
No.
Fast. Don't taste it, just drink. And I'm really glad wiser minds prevailed, and we basically came to the conclusion that we'll drink one between us. We'll drink half of one each, and we'll see how we get on, because you can always add, but once you've ingested the substance, you just got to ride that shit out. And I'm really glad we did that, especially because I was the one driving us home. And if I had a whole... chances are Pat Lita wouldn't have had a fucking cup of mushroom shake to herself. I'd have probably had like 1.5. And my God, I'd have been gone. I would have been gone. Like, I only drank half of one, to be honest with you. And then, like, I started getting a bit anxious and feeling a little bit, I don't know why, but feeling a little bit uncomfortable. And, like, I really like Pat Lita, but I hadn't seen her in a couple of months. And the thing that was kind of stressing me out is I suddenly got a wave. When I was in the AMSTERDAM bar, I got a wave of, like, self-consciousness and kind of, like, thinking how I sound in this conversation, all this shit. And then I started, like, getting... like a load of fucking horrible memories of like past traumas and shit. And I was in the AMSTERDAM bar and I was thinking, fuck, like I can feel a wave of anxiety come in. I think I'm about to have a panic attack. That's why I don't do edibles, is because every time I do it, it's an instant panic attack. So, yeah. I'll never do edibles again, I don't think. I'm not going to say that I'll never smoke weed again, but fuck, edibles are a different gravy, and I've really come too close to the sun on edibles before. I've literally, and I'm not even saying this to be facetious or amusing, but I have had some horrible experiences on edibles. I've only done them ever in Thailand, and like freaking out on edibles, thinking that I'm going to lose my mind, and then realizing the only way that I can get treatment is if I call the Thai ambulance workers. It's just a horrible time, just the worst time ever, really. So yeah, I don't do edibles. So as I was saying, the fucking mushrooms are beginning to come up, and I'm feeling really uncomfortable. And I made the dumb mistake of reading the shit on my phone whilst I was coming up on these mushrooms. And right now, fucking Iran's bombing Israel and shit. And I was reading people's trip reports where, like, they're taking Xanax, trying to stay in this reality. I should have just put the phone down and not even looked at this shit. But, that was a mistake. And it actually came to a crescendo where I was thinking, after reading this shit about the guy who was about to lose his mind on mushrooms, I was reading some shit on Reddit. I basically said to Pat Lita, like, I got to get the fuck out of here. Like, let's go to a pharmacy. I'll buy some Xanax. This is the shit I was thinking at the time. I'll buy some Xanax and let's just go the fuck home. I don't feel too good. And she was hugging me all whilst this was going on because she could recognize that I wasn't feeling very good. And we basically made the decision, like, let's just get the fuck out of the Amsterdam bar and go home, or go to some pharmacy even. And as we were walking out the steps of the Amsterdam bar, like, all of a sudden the tension that was inside of my body was just subsiding, and I was beginning to feel a lot better. Now, Pat Lita was a little bit spooked by the whole thing because, if you can imagine, I've just ingested some magic mushrooms, and now she's about to get on this back of my scooter and, oh yeah. So, anyway, we get on the scooter and we're riding around and shit, and like, she wants me to ride down to the bottom of the hill before she gets on. And the moment I get on the scooter and I start riding, I'm thinking, you know what? I actually feel all right. Like, I don't feel too bad at all. And we get out of the Amsterdam bar and she gets on the scooter, and the road around the Amsterdam bar is really quiet and quite dark with no traffic. And actually the day, on the Saturday that this shit was going on, it was actually what they call Songkran Festival in Thailand. Luckily, in Koh Phangan, it was only for one day, but basically Songkran Festival is like some water festival in Thailand, and like, you'll be driving your scooter around at 60 kilometers an hour, and foreigners, like white people, will be chucking buckets of water in your face and like thinking it's cool. I'm not trying to be some buzzkill, but it's fucking dangerous, eh? It is dangerous doing that shit. And I was getting a bit pissed off about it, but if I knew it was only for one day, I'd have just put the stress on the back burner. But I thought this shit was going to last for a week, so I was fuming. And then we basically, as if by magic, like, I've been getting splashed with water all day and all night, and I was fuming about it, but as if by magic, the moment I ingested the mushrooms, the Songkran Festival might as well have come to a complete stop. Like, there was no more water, nobody was doing shit. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. And we're riding around, and Pat Lita's on the back, and we're just talking. And like, I'm starting to feel really, really positive, just riding around on the roads. Instead of like focusing on the internal so much, I'm just looking at the shit that's going on around me. And I was feeling pretty good, like, just riding around, just looking at this shit. And like, for those of you that have ever ingested mushrooms before, sometimes this shit can have you on some really like introspective, like deep thinking. I don't even know how to explain it, but it was like my Marcus Aurelius was coming out or some shit. I was just driving around thinking about the stuff that concerns me on a daily basis. And I was just so far removed from it. And it was almost like my problems just melted away. But not in a MDMA sense where like it's all superficial and then you feel like shit the next day. This shit was just a different perspective. And I really needed it, to be honest with you. I really needed that stuff. And after a little while of this, I was feeling super, super positive, especially because the Songkran festival had ended and we were completely dry. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was driving around smiling like a Cheshire cat. Like Pat Lita was like laughing about how much I was smiling. Like I wasn't even talking really much, like I wasn't even like saying much, but I was just smiling. I just felt really happy on the inside. And yeah, like I'm not sure if Pat Lita had as good of a time as I did. Like we were driving around and there were loads of stray dogs that were barking and shit. And we even saw this guy who looked like a zombie. He looked like he had just done a shitload of yabba, like a load of amphetamine. He looked like a ghoul off fucking Far Cry 4. He looked crazy. And she was spooked by him. And I said to her, Pat Lita, I'm here with you, don't worry, I'll protect you. And I meant that shit. I'd have bit that fucking ghoul's nose off. But yeah, nah. I was just saying, like I was laughing even about that, to be honest with you. Like I was just looking around at all the people that were walking around. There were all of these stray dogs, all of these ghouls, all of these people that were coming out of the hospital and looking weird as fuck. And I was saying to Pat Lita, there's some really, really weird people out tonight. And I was just laughing about it. But yeah, I don't really know, I can't really convey too much about the experience using words. Like, my vocabulary isn't particularly good, but it was really, all I'll say is it was really cool. Now, as I said, I bought not 2 bottles, but 2 Happy Shakes. And fucking, I actually didn't get round to drinking the second one. If you've ever done mushrooms before, you know that even though the experience is enjoyable, on like the next day after a big mushroom trip, sometimes you kind of don't want to do it again so soon. You want a little break. You just want a little break. And as I wanted this little break, we were driving around the day after Songkran. And in Songkran's the biggest holiday, to my knowledge, in Thailand. It's where everyone, I'm sure, has got a day off or even a few days off. And when that happens, the rate of drunk driving goes through the roof. Now, I've been to Koh Phangan before, and there was very little of a police presence. And that's why I felt comfortable enough doing this shit. If it was like Phuket, where there's fucking police on every road practically, and they're trying to scrounge money from you like a fucking blood-sucking mosquito, I probably wouldn't go doing Happy Shakes in Phuket, because that is a real dance with the devil. So basically, the next day after Songkran, I'm driving around and I'm driving on the main road of Koh Phangan, and I see that there's a police blockade in the middle of the road. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, thank God I didn't do the fucking mushroom shakes today, because otherwise I'd be finished, probably. I'd be in deep shit. Now, immediately, because I've been in Phuket before, where they suck the fucking money out of you, basically, one of the things they search for in Phuket is, are the phalangs wearing helmets? If you're Caucasian and you don't have a helmet on and you're in Phuket, you got to cough up. You got to cough up some cheddar cheese. And I was thinking, I immediately, upon like a reflex, I literally said, Pat Lita, I need the helmet. Put the helmet on, drive past a police blockade, and I'm thinking they're for sure going to pull me over. Thank God I didn't do the mushrooms today. And then they let me through, and I'm seeing the only people they're pulling over are fucking Thai guys, Thai locals. I was in a state of shock. I was thinking, what the fuck? Is it opposite day or something? Because in Thailand, you know, Thai people's word and Thai people, you know, you'll see kids driving around on scooters with no helmets and the police don't give a shit as long as they're a Thai local. But Phalangs get tripped up here, there and everywhere for a wide variety of shit. I honestly couldn't believe it when they let me through and I saw that they were pulling over Thai people, lifting up their shirts and shit. Probably because of the rates of drunk driving. But, sorry. That did kind of spook me off doing this second bottle of Happy Shakes again. Because sometimes, even though mushrooms are really pleasurable, you know, they can make you a little bit paranoid. Like, there were times when I was driving around, seeing people in the distance, and I thought that they were police officers. I was like, oh shit. And then once I saw the police blockade in the road, I thought, fuck. Like, you know, all being well, I'll be able to do this Happy Shake again and have a cool experience. But, you know, if you get caught doing mushrooms, even though they're lowering the sentences out here in Thailand, you're still looking at a year in prison or a £2,000 fine. And I don't need that shit in my life. The other day, I had an accident with some fucking Thai locals, and the accident wasn't bad, but the fucking old-ass lady fell off the scooter, hit her head, and I had to pay like £800 for her shit. So I don't need that drama in my life. I don't even have £2,000 spare. So the only other alternative, if I got caught, you know, ingesting magic mushrooms, I'd probably be looking at prison time. So that did kind of put me off doing them again. I did give the bottle to Pat Lita, and maybe we do them again, maybe we don't. But still, it was, even if I pay 1,400 baht for one experience, that's roughly what I'd be paying in England anyway. So it was worth it. It was sick. It was probably like a 9 out of 10. If there was no chance of police intervention and losing your freedom, it'd be a 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10. But, yeah, no. Is it worth losing your freedom over this shit? No. Would I recommend it to sensible people who won't get caught? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Would I recommend getting on a scooter when you're under the influence? Probably not. Yeah, no. Even me, I'm a really good driver, but, yeah, no. Ooh, yeah, no. Getting behind the wheel when you're under the influence, it's not good, really. So, yeah. But don't go losing your freedom over this shit. A lot of hotels, especially the ones that are by a beach, they sell. If you're staying in a hotel in Koh Phangan, or probably a wide variety of other islands, and it's a hotel by the beach that also has a bar, if you ask them for a Happy Shake, they'll probably, in all likelihood, have some, and you won't have to leave your hotel vicinity and risk getting incarcerated by the police. And that is some shit that you really don't want to have to deal with, because that'll be big fucking stress. Big stress. As in, you either get us £2,000 in the next hour, or you're probably going to go Bang Quan prison type of shit. So, fuck that. You're better off pushing up daisies than going to fucking Bang Quan prison. But, yeah, all in all, it was a sick experience. And I really think over the next 5 to 10 years, I'm not a betting man, but seeing the financial implications for Thailand that legalizing weed has brought about, I really think in 5 to 10 years, all being well, magic mushrooms may be more widely available than they are right now. I really cannot believe that, you know, like people have said for a long time that weed should be legal, and don't get me wrong, I definitely think it should be, but people act like weed is this thing that is like just nothing but positive. Like it's so good, like it's like a super drug that has no negative implications. Oh yeah, weed doesn't make you lazy. If you're lazy on weed, you're just lazy. It's like, what are you talking about, cunt? What are you talking about? If you want to smoke weed, I think you should be allowed to do it. I personally think as long as you're for sure not going to hurt somebody, I think you should be allowed to do bath salts and shit. I think you should be allowed to fucking shoot crocodile or whatever it's called, fentanyl. I think you should be allowed to do whatever you want, presupposing you're not going to fuck over somebody else or get behind the wheel or some shit. But my God, like, people have been speaking so much about how weed should be legal, but I think magic mushrooms are on a different stratosphere of legality. Like, if people were taking like psychedelic mushrooms, presupposing that they're not predisposed to, schizophrenia or some shit, I think there's a lot of utility in magic mushrooms, so much. They are really cool, And I've heard that they're really good for people that come home from like war and who have PTSD and shit. So I really hope that they legalize them, like the world over. But that's a conversation for another day, So anyway, if you watched to the end, thank you very much and have a good day. Boo boo.
Boo boo, I already tasted a drink.